Look at this. That's a process that happens in your brain every night during sleep, and it is vital. I tried to make a video about why we sleep, but the thing is, nobody's fully figured out the why yet. It's really complex. All we know for sure is that many things can go bad if you're sleep deprived. Enter this image. But what the schnitzel is going on here? So we've got the brain. The brain is actually taking a permanent bath in this liquid called cerebrospinal fluid. This liquid provides many amazing functions such as buoyancy, so the net weight of your brain is reduced, meaning the bottom of your brain isn't permanently crushed. It acts as a shock absorber to protect your brain from injury. It circulates nutrients from your blood and helps to clear toxic waste products from your brain. This cerebrospinal fluid bathes the brain and pressure forces this fluid in between the individual brain cells. These cells produce waste, various molecules from many complex reactions. The movement of the cerebrospinal fluid through the cells picks up the waste products and carries them back into the bloodstream where they can be disposed of. See ya. This is called your glymphatic system. The cerebrospinal fluid acts like the rubbish truck, removing the waste from your brain. And this process happens when? During sleep. Now, one of these waste products is called beta-amyloid, and high levels of beta-amyloid are actually linked to Alzheimer's disease. A study in mice showed that cerebrospinal fluid clearance was far higher during sleep, which increased the rate of beta-amyloid clearance from the brains of the mice. This has spurred on a growing area of research investigating the connection between sleep deprivation across one's life and increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. But you have to see these studies too. Some of these are nuts. There's a worldwide experiment where one day a year, billions of people get 1 hour less sleep at night. Daylight savings time, the day when the clocks go forward. And there's research into the effects of this shift. I'm just going to give you some of these stats, and all of the studies with these findings will be linked in the description below. Daylight savings time has been associated with an increased risk of fatal car collisions by 6%. 6%! Hospitals in Michigan saw a jump of 24% in patients having heart attacks. Admissions went from 32 patients on an average Monday to 40 patients the day after the clocks went forward. And judges' sentences are 5% longer after an hour's less sleep. So if you're going to commit a crime, remember to do it. Well, actually, just don't do it. I mean, that's pretty crazy, no? And makes a fairly compelling argument to not do the daylight savings time thing, which only started in 1908. We were fine before, and the consequences of daylight savings time are pretty huge, so I'm with #LockTheClock. The question of why all of this happens is not well established. Sleep is clearly important for memory formation, restoration, food cravings, mood, concentration, cardiovascular health, and many other things. And more studies on those are only a Google away. But I want to talk about one last devastating effect of sleep deprivation: emotional processing. In our brains, we have this part over here called the amygdala. The amygdala is highly involved in memory, decision making, and emotional responses, such as anxiety and aggression. Now, you know I love an fMRI study. Link here on how fMRI works. So in one study, a well-rested and a sleep-deprived group were given fMRI brain scans, whilst they viewed some pictures that would elicit neutral responses or emotionally negative responses. Both groups expressed significant amygdala activation in response to the negative emotion-inducing images, but the sleep-deprived group exhibited a 60% greater magnitude of amygdala activation. This is an amazing finding because it shows under the conditions of sleep deprivation, the amygdala has an amplified response to negative emotional stimuli. Again, the explanations of the why are not fully understood, but think about the consequences of this. This finding suggests that being sleep deprived gives us a larger neurological response to negative emotional stimuli, so we feel negative emotions more powerfully, which just makes life harder to navigate. Lucky none of us are sleep deprived. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and I do hope you sleep well. Right, I'm late for work.